Anuradha Mataji, go ahead.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandvat Pranam. What is meant by Swarupa Siddhi Prabhuji? In the text it came, the attachment of particular from of the Lord is called Swarupa Siddhi.
Prabhu, you are on mute.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I just said true. I think Swarup Siddhi is nothing but, reviving one's constitutional nature in relationship to Krishna. So by nature, every living entity, every soul has a particular relationship with God. When that relationship is revived, that is called Swarup Siddhi.
So, for example, like how mother and father, like that, Prabhuji.
Sorry?
For example, means like how we attach to the mother and father, like that.
No. Mother and father relationship is actually temporary in this world. But constitutional position, Swarup Siddhi means when we understand what is my relationship with Krishna, which is eternal, which is not changeable, which is eternal. So reviving that relationship with Krishna is called Swarupa Siddhi.
Oh, okay. Oh, I understood. Now I got it. Thank you.
Vinita Mataji, you can answer.
Okay, thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandat Pranam. Prabhuji, my question is, who is Guru Nanak Dev? Is his incarnation Satyavishar or is a messenger? Because Sikh Dharma starts from them, and their holy book, that Guru Granth Sahib, is also worshipped. So these are just my queries.
Guru Nanak Sahib is actually one of the saintly persons, but not coming in any parampara system. So his philosophy is very much tinged with Mayavad, the impersonalist philosophy. He was a genuine saintly person. There was no duplicity or hypocrisy in him, but his philosophy is messed up because of Mayavad or impersonalism. Because of the influence of Kali Yuga, if a person doesn't have connection with bona fide Guru, then his philosophy or his understanding about God becomes polluted.
Okay, and what about Guru Granth Sahib? Means in Guru Granth Sahib, so many times Rama's name is mentioned and Krishna's name is also mentioned.
Yes, in Guru Granth Sahib, there are names of Rama and Krishna or Govinda are mentioned very often. But the whole book is nothing but, you can say, mixed up ideas. There is no genuine or proper foundation based on the scriptures. So you can say it's like, in one way, the philosophy of Krishna consciousness mixed up with Mayavad. So it's like a whole, in one way, what we call in Hindi, we call it khichdi, kind of a khichdi kind of views mixed up together. So you'll find at places you'll find very strong Mayavad statements, and at times you'll find like says Govinda Gunagayo ni Janama Bharat Keen.
Yes.
So Guru Granth Sahib says, if you don't sing the glories of Govinda, then your life is useless. Which sounds like exactly Vaishnava philosophy. But at places, it's also tinged with heavily Mayavad philosophy.
Yes, yes, exactly. Their philosophy is based on, means one sentence, ghar mahi ghar dikhai deve, means in our body, God is there. We have to worship Him only.
Yeah. So, therefore, though, I saw that in Sindhi family, we have seen that right from our childhood.
Yes.
But philosophy is actually very much kind of a hodgepodge and mixed up with so many contradictory views.
Yes, it's still there, Prabhuji. So many Sindhi families have that Guru Granth Sahib at their home.
Yeah, yeah,
As we also have, yeah, in our in-laws. Yes. Exactly.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Gaurav, Prabhu, you can answer.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, in Vedavis, there we have just read that manufacturing activity, if you do, you get into non-sleepy mode and bring into a lot more insomnia.
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
I,
What? Where you read?
and now just Veda base, we have it is written that the devotees should not get into the manufacturing activities, and even in the scientists who manufacture so many things, and uh, at the end the scientists get even scientists get so many good thing and bad thing also. That nuclear weapon is also made by scientists, and so many medicines which is saving lives are also made by scientists. So it's saying that it brings so much insomnia, and then you will have to come again for in material world.
Mm-hmm. So what's your question, Prabhu?
So Prabhuji, I just wanted to understand. My question is, uh, means manufacturing is one way is very good. Like if you manufacture something and distribute it, like if you are manufacturing something good products. So why it is written that the getting into manufacturing is getting you will get into insomnia, and it brings a lot of troubles.
Well, when we talk about manufacturing, Prabhupada is mainly talking about the factories or industry. Just give me one second.
Prabhuji, you are in mute.
Yeah. So yeah. So generally the industrial enterprises are the activity in the mode of passion, and mode of passion generally makes a person work very hard for the purpose of you know what do you call attaining the so-called only for the sake of attaining more and more sense enjoyment, because generally industrial work is nothing but driven by the idea that I want to have more and more. That's the whole idea. And
Your voice is not clear.
is
Yeah,
that better?
now it's better. I think others are not muted. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. So no, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So generally, when a person is engages in industrial work, manufacturing or industrial work, it requires a lot of hard work. And hard work is possible only the mode of passion. And mode of passion means generally the person will have less and less sleep. Passionate means the person has so much passion, he doesn't mind working hard, doesn't mind engaging in more and more hard work to attain the purpose or the goal of his life. And because the nature of the industrial work is this in the mode of passion, it generally brings health related issues as well. So when Prabhupada is talking about insomnia is mainly because of anxiety to attain the goals. Because naturally when you are having industrial entrepreneur kind of work, then you have a lot of investment in that. And if you have a lot of investment, then person cannot sleep if he doesn't see the returns coming in.
So in that case, manufacturers are like they are living in hell. Although they have a lot of material things and everything that is in place, but manufacturing industry is it's going through a trouble time. they will always be all will be in trouble.
It really depends on the nature of the industry. When industry is really based on a lot of exploitation of the material nature or natural resources, then yes, it will be. It's actually very interesting. And Bhishma Dev in Mahabharata, he mentions there are three businesses which make a person go to hell for sure. So one is selling the hair, especially people who keep animals and you know like sheep and all, right? They take the wool from the sheep or they kill the animal for the hair of the animal, to make the different kinds of woolen or different articles, right? So he says a person who does a business of hair, poison, and milk, destined to go to hell. Now here we understand because there is involvement of animals. Poison we understand because people may die. Anyone who sells the poison, he becomes in one way instrument to kill others. Whether you're selling poison for human beings or animals or insects or bugs, you are mainly involved in being instrumental of killing. So people go to hell for sure. But milk, how about the milk? Why a person should go to hell for doing the business of milk? And this is the verdict of Bhishma Dev. Bhishma Dev is known as great Mahajan. When some statement comes from Bhishma Dev, it has a lot of significance.
Is it because
The modern dairy industry is nothing but the graphic example of when a person makes milk as a commodity to do the business, that's where it leads. It becomes exploitative to cows, which are most dear to Krishna. And people actually become, what do you call, uh, demoniac, that they extract the last drop of milk from the cow and then they send the cow to slaughterhouse. It's the typical corporate utility of cow nowadays, whether in India, America, Europe, anywhere you go. They think cow is the animal to be exploited to the core. You extract the last drop of milk from it and then kill it. So this is the nature of passionate industries. When industry means you want to exploit more and more resources of nature. So the more one exploits the resources of nature, the more one is obliged to pay back. So whether I do it for myself or do it for others, I become obliged to pay back. So therefore, the Vedic culture or Vedic scriptures, they teach us simple living and high thinking. So you take from the nature as much as required for sustaining a healthy living, and then you try to dedicate your time for high thinking that, or trying to understand what's the goal of my life, why I'm here in this material world. I hope that answers your question, Gaurav.
Yeah, partially. I will come up with you with some more questions. Let everybody ask other questions.
So what is the portion that is still doubtful?
Prabhuji, see that three things that you have said, that is uh, that you have, that should not be getting into this manufacturing activity. I understand, but what about the food industry? Food industry makes a lot of things. They manufacture a lot of things, like people make gehu, chana. They procure it from market and they prepare a lot of good stuff, and those are also, again, the exploitation of things. Now suppose we eat ghee, we eat oil, we eat so many things. So that is the part of exploitation that we have eaten. So in that case also, uh, and those are the healthy things that should be, we should have it for our health purpose also. So if you have to be healthy, you need to exploit somewhere some things.
Naturally, and Bhagavatam does support that. It says, Jivo Jivasya Jivanam. For our healthy living, we have to sustain by killing other living entities. Even if I'm eating, suppose, grains, I am killing living entities, right? So life is not possible without exploiting another life, but that exploitation should be minimum. Now, it's actually very interesting. Lord Krishna is telling Narada Muni, this is in Brahma Puran. He says, what sinful reactions a person may incur by eating fish every day. So, a person who goes to fish, catch the fish from the river or lake, may catch 1 or 2 fishes every day. So, what amount of sins a person may incur by eating fish every day, by catching fish himself, is incurred by farmer in just 1 day by plowing the field. It's very interesting, because farmer is not just generally doing the farming for himself. No. He's doing farming so that he can have abundance of grains and he can sell it to others. So in 1 day plowing the land, he kills so many living entities by plowing the land, that a person who may be eating fish may incur only in 1 year. Now one may think, okay, so that's a good thing, then we can eat fish, right, every day. No. But the problem with eating fish is because, it brings a person to the lower modes of material nature. So yes, a person may in one way have little less reaction, but he is, going into lower and lower modes where he will actually start becoming more and more sinful. But in general, even farming on an industrial scale is actually binding a person to karma. It's not that if I'm growing just trees or growing grains on an industrial scale is free from sinful reactions. No, none of the activities are free from sinful reactions. So when a person is not struggling to get more and more and more, where one has to work in industry, has to create an industry to get more and more, then the person will be minimum incurring karma. But now we are talking about becoming completely free from karma. So even if somebody is running industry, but if the person is taken to Krishna consciousness and does not have any attachment to his industry or exploiting more and more natural resources for his own enjoyment, then though the person may be having industry, is still not affected by the karmic reaction. So I may be born in a family where I have big industry at my disposal. I have very, some passionate, like, say for example, Ford Industries, Ford Motors. So the chairman of Ford Motors is actually also one of the devotees, Amrish Prabhu, Prabhupada disciple. So even though he's running the big industry, which the nature of that job is actually very passionate. People who work in that industry are passionate, and to run that industry you have passion. To sell the cars, you have a lot of passion. And if you go to some car dealer, you'll see the agents come running behind you. They try to push so much to sell the car to you, even if you don't want. So it's the whole industry is running on passion. So the chairman, the person who's actually responsible for manufacturing all the cars, can still remain unaffected if he is taking minimum results of that industry, is taking minimum for his personal purpose and utilizing everything else in Krishna's service. So the key here is we are here in the material world, and we should try to take minimum from this world and return maximum. Give more, take less. That's what actually brings even healthy ecology. So spiritual ecology is you take minimum and you try to give back more. Wherever you are in, whichever circle you are. In family, if you try to take minimum and try to give more, you see your relationship with family members automatically becomes sweet. In the workplace, if you take minimum and try to give more, automatically your relationship becomes very sweet with everyone in workplace. And this is general principle. Even in living in the material world, when we take minimum from the nature and try to give more and more in a favorable way. Giving more doesn't mean, you eat little bit and then, give more in recycling. No, not like that. But giving more in the sense, I'm eating maybe one fruit, but I try to, plant maybe 10 fruit trees. That's giving more back to the nature. So a person who has this consciousness, I want to take minimum, but I want to give back more. That is the Goloka consciousness. In Golok Vrindavan, in the spiritual world, everyone doesn't want to take anything, but they want to give everything to Krishna. And Krishna doesn't want anything for himself. He wants to give everything to his devotees. In the glimpse of that Golok Vrindavan, you can see even in this material world, when you start imbibing this consciousness that I want to take minimum, I want to give more. Try out in any circle, even family if you try, even in workplace you try, in devotee circles you try, you will see the relationship automatically becomes very sweet and loving. That's a key to develop loving relationships. And the exploitative nature brings only bitter and bitter relationships. Bitter relationships and more anxiety in so many, what Prabhupada refers there. Exactly that is what happens. I hope that clarifies a little better, Gaurav, what we...
Yes, Prabhuji. That actually clarify most of the doubts. That ideally you should see that how you are serving the society. That you should not see how they are serving to me.
That is
That way you will always have less expectation, and if you have a less expectation, in that case you will have less issues with somebody else. So in that case, if you have less issues with someone else, then you will automatically uh, develop some kind of love. And
Yes.
if you develop some kind of love with someone else, then automatically the love will reciprocate from other side.
Yes, that's right.
That's the human nature.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you very much.
Very.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Shirisha Mataji, you can ask a question.
Sure, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, I have two questions. Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, why the cows, why the animal in cow form only very dear to Krishna? Is there any specific reason?
No, because Krishna's abode is called Goloka. Go, cows, Loka. It's the abode of cows. So Krishna loves the cows. Why he loves the cows? It's just causeless. Krishna loves the cows. And Prabhupada actually gives one reason that because cows are such a selfless and useful animal. This not only gives utility to human society, but also selflessly gives like a mother, gives the milk and whatever comes from the cow, whether cow dung, cow urine, everything is actually useful for human civilization. Human civilization, not the demonic civilization where they want to take only milk from the cow and kill the cow. But everything that comes from cow is actually so useful and conducive for Krishna consciousness. Milk is a miraculous food which Prabhupada said, if somebody drinks milk, cow's milk, one naturally develops finer brain tissues, which entails a person to understand the subject matter of Krishna consciousness. So simply by drinking milk, one can actually develop sufficient intelligence to understand Krishna consciousness. And then cow dung and cow urine are so medicinal. Not only medicinal, but they're also useful for performing yajna. So cow's milk, cow's urine, and cow dung, everything is actually so conducive for deity worship as well as yajnas.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you. Prabhuji, I would like to know about this painting which is sent in our WhatsApp group, Prabhuji. Do you have access on your phone or?
Yeah, I'll just check right now.
It looks a different form of Krishna for me. Actually, it's not a threefold bend form. Is there any pastime or any related for this picture?
Not that I'm seeing that picture first time, Madhavi. Frankly speaking, I'm seeing first time. In the background looks like some gopis there, but I'm seeing this picture really first time.
Yeah, it's on calendar, Prabhu. Like in Vrindavan Dham, it wrote about Vrindavan Dham. But somehow it looks very different. The Krishna looks very different for me.
Yeah, I never saw this. I'm seeing first time.
Prabhuji, I want to see background of yours. Is it Ramachandra's poster?
No, Madhavi, this is Krishna swallowing the forest fire.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Today I was sitting upstairs, so decided to sit here only.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare
I think we don't have any more questions. Probably. I think we don't have any more questions, probably.
Thank you.
Just want to say one thing that, probably 1 second, just want to say one thing that I will be muting devotees and probably is talking because a lot of noise is coming and we couldn't hear. So please forgive me if I mute you if you try to speak or something like that.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your service, Vijay Prabhu.
Yeah.
Thank you. Vancha kalpataru
Vancha kalpataru कृपा
जय पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद के जय हरे कृष्ण जनार्दन प्रभु। Thank you. Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you, Prabhuji. Thank you, everyone.